in the finals.
Perfect. So yeah, not too much pressure, but some. And it looks like we've started.
Ooh, 20 rupees in the first chest. So looks like both our runners are opting to go towards Hyrule Castle. Ooh, Nicky unfortunately getting a little stuck there on the bush. Both of them look like they're setting up for the tree pull. You pick up the sign here, throw it at the blue guard, and then pull the items on the tree to see what the prize pack is. Just 5 rupees. They need 5 rupees anyways, or a bunch of rupees for a lot of locations still, so not a terrible thing.
No, it's always good to find some money right off the bat. Then you have at least your 100 for the bottle vendor.
Well, we've got bombs.
One of the nicest things to see in the first few chests, but anywhere else it's less valuable. Ooh, blue mail though.
Blue mail is nice to find early on. Might make them do a little bit more gambles than they would normally do. And look at the sync, these guys. Picking up that piece of heart.
So an interesting note with these two, I guess, dark sprites is that their eyes change color with the male. So we can see they both have blue eyes now.
So we're seeing a little bit of route divergence. Nope. No, we're not. We're just, oh, yeah, we are. Nicky is opting to go into the Lost Woods from the bottom. And so instead is skipping Lumberjack Cave, so won't get that intel there.
Yeah, the intel's always nice, but it's one of those things where until you have the boots, it's not a necessary check.
So we found a map of Turtle Rock lying in the Lost Woods. Unfortunately, just a heart container on the ledge there, the Lumberjack Cave, so might not be an Aghanim required seed. There's still the potential for Dark World access, that Aghanim's the only way in, but at the moment, currently not looking very likely.
No, but you at least have to breathe a sigh of relief that even if you find those 2 keys early, it's like, okay, maybe I don't need to complete the whole thing. I'll only check those 2 checks. Finally, in picking up that map, we will be able to find out what Turtle Rock is. So far, we got lots of bombs. Again, always a nice thing to see at the beginning, especially if you don't end up finding any weapons. You can at least try and do the mini Mildorm Cave.
And so we found a small shield, and ooh, speaking of small keys to Aga Tower, there's our first one. Oh boy, the map for Ganon's Tower.
One of the most useful pieces of information in the game. So fylion took advantage of pretty much every tree pull they could. Still sitting at that 77 rupees, but this next room should push them over 100, which will be a slight advantage if Nicky doesn't find another 14 in the well.
Big key for Eastern Palace.
That's a really nice one to find early, because that gives you at least, that Sphere 0 chest access. So much for my talk about needing all those extra bombs. Hammer and flippers right away. That's pretty nice. That opens up a bunch more routing stuff at South Shore with the flippers.
Exactly.
Those are pretty expensive arrows.
With only 6 rupees left, they're gonna have to be careful. So we got to see what's in the chicken hut. Opting not to do the chicken clip meme that everyone seems to do. If you actually do that, sometimes you can get stuck in there and have to save and quit. So
yeah, it's one of the more dangerous tricks to pull off in a race.
Yep.
Small key to Desert Palace. That's a good couple items now. So as we just finish up Kakariko, Saku, what are your hopes for the race?
Oh boy. You know, I don't want this seed to be too trolly, but I do want to find an item of significance on Laser Bridge.
Okay, Laser Bridge is your trolley place of choice?
Yes.
That's nice. That's nicer than, say, a pedestal or...
Well, I don't want it to be too trolly. So we'll give it some Laser Bridge love.
I think I can agree with that. I'd like to see maybe like the Ganon's Tower big key there. That's somewhere that at least might be on your way.
With pendant Turtle Rock too.
Okay. Early access pendant Turtle Rock?
No. If they have early access, only having about half access, so they have to come back. It's getting more and more trolly as it goes along.
We're seeing your true trolley colors.
I was trying to hide it. I guess I can't.
I mean, we're all here for an entertaining race.
Well, these runners will definitely provide that, I can tell you that for sure.
Absolutely.
So, hammer mini Moldworms are really awful. Hammering them from the bottom is just hit and miss sometimes, quite literally. What you want to do is kind of get towards the top of them, and or the side. Oh no! And Nicky taking the death. Oh no!
That wasn't the kind of troll you were looking for.
No, that's definitely not the kind of trolley I was looking for.
No, nobody wants to see that. It's a rough death to take. Hopefully they can take a deep breath and just kind of relax.
But Nicky does only have one bomb left, and so unfortunately hammer is really their only option at the moment. And fylion picking up a bomb inventory upgrade. That's interesting.
Yeah, plus 10 is at least, you know, oh, I won't have to worry about bombs ever again. Nicky clearing up using that extra bomb they found.
Oh, almost gets the double kill though. And very nice. Gonna pick up that magic. Hopefully he finds a rod or something that will be able to help with damaging things. But he needs a bomb for if he's gonna go check Ice Rod Cave.
We have silvers already.
Nice! Map of Skullwoods as well. Small key to pod. Yeah, and without a bomb, Nicky is probably gonna go flip her over to Hobo Waterfall and see what's on the ledge maybe for Zora? Nope.
I think they're going back to do the dam. I don't remember seeing them do it.
Checking the Hoarder prize, seeing it's only a single rupee, but we're getting a big key on Phylion's side for pod.
So we got one small key, one big key for pod.
Yeah, pod is one of those things in the logic you'd need 6 keys and 1 big key. 6 small keys, 1 big key. Ooh, fylion has to be really careful here. Ooh, but gets the double kill and the bomb drop. But opts to leave the bomb drop behind.
Yeah, they have 5 bombs. fylion doesn't need more. Nicky picking up their big key.
Nicky kind of just trying to figure out what they want to do. There's a lot of options at the moment. Not a significant amount of chests, but definitely a lot of different options. So we could see, it looks like we're going to see the Hyrule Castle check right now.
As fylion dekes out the birds and the the Gumbies?
I honestly just call them cactuses.
That works too. Electric cacti.
Cacti, yeah, there you go. And dodging all these. Whoop! crabs. Oh my goodness. Oh, fylion, please. Die. Hi.
Even with blue mail, it's one of the scariest parts of the beginning of the game.
I'm getting a red rupee for his troubles. Nicky picking up a +5 inventory upgrade. So, interestingly enough, there's still... So, fylion actually saved and quit instead of opting to go check Flipper or go Flipper. So, you might go south here and check the hobo. Nope, just going straight to Sahashala and Eastern.
Probably waiting until he has enough money to do Zora at the same time.
Makes sense.
Or, you know, very likely could have also just forgotten, because who normally has flippers that early?
It's true. And Nicky picking up a bomb drop from an enemy. Very, very nice. So we're going to get to see what the green pendant is here. Swamp Palace.
So that means that Hookshot can be in Ganon's tower.
Small key to Skullwoods. Unfortunately, not the key we're looking for. Literally one of the most useless small keys in the game. It does help with routing a little bit earlier, but that's pretty much it. It's nothing that's going to be blocked behind that small key, unfortunately.
Yeah,
so we're going to get... Sorry?
No, go ahead.
We're going to get those, the Eastern Palace check fairly early on here. fylion opting to go inside. We do have the Eastern Palace big key, so we're going to get to check the big chest. But currently, neither player has the lamp, so the vanilla big key chest is actually outside of the logic right now. So if they do happen to pick up anything good from there, maybe that might help them lead. Maybe that might help lead them in the direction of the lamp. Ooh, another pod key. Whoop. The big cannons there.
fylion couldn't hide in time. Nicky grabbing their keys from Sahasrahla.
So, question in chat was, how do you see what the key is for? There's actually a text box that comes up every time they pick up a map or a compass. In version 28, the current version that they're playing, there's no text box if a key is from, or a key, map, compass, big key is in the dungeon that you're, or for the dungeon that you're actually in. But in version 29, that's actually changing, where text box will come up no matter what and tell you that it's for that dungeon.
A good change.
I agree.
fylion getting the skeleton room first try. Well, that's certainly exciting. We've got our flute. We can go somewhere.
So we have another. Oh wait, yeah, that was the small key that fylion picked up. So another question in regards to how do you tell the difference between sank heart and other heart containers? Actually, with the vanilla game, the heart containers would not refill your health. It would just be the crystals and pendants that you pick up that would refill your health. So, but when you completed Escape, the Sanctuary Heart would completely restore any lost hearts. So, it's the only heart in the game that will actually fully refill your hearts.
It's always fun when you find the sank heart or get a quarter heart completion and refills your health right as you're trying to death warp.
Yeah, especially Zelda's dungeon. That's one of the worst places for that to happen. Especially if you killed all the enemies.
Then it's either a save and quit or a long walk back.
So fylion picked up the flute in the dungeon here. So we're going to see probably an activation fairly quick. That unlocks a bit of Death Mountain. Not Eastern Death Mountain and not Tower of Hera yet. So it does have the hammer. I'm expecting that we'll probably find either a hookshot or a mirror fairly soon. which could lead them over to the other side. Or they could get the glove to give them Dark World access. There's still a significant amount of things that they can find.
Still missing the Moon Pearl, though. So hopefully it doesn't end up, on the pyramid. But we'll see. fylion is, in fact, going to activate their flute.
A little bit of fylion serenading us here.
Always nice when the runners treat us to a song as they race.
I agree. So Nicky is also going to be going over to get the vanilla big key chest. Unfortunately, not going to find anything of value. We'll probably save and quit and leave after that too, but has to be careful because of the hearts. Oh no.
Nicky, just leave it. Just leave it. It's not even in the logic anyways. Right now. Until you find the lamp, just leave it.
Save and quit. There you go. Whew. Oh no, that is the worst place to die. That is such a long trip back. Thank goodness it's nothing of value and it's outside of the logic at the moment. So
Absolutely.
just a heart piece on the ledge of Lake Hylia Island.
fylion remembered that they had the flippers, which is good. Seeing it, you can get more at this point from swimming than you can from going up to Death Mountain.
There is that power glove, so almost have Dark World access, just need that Moon Pearl.
Where do you think it's going to end up?
There's still so many places that are open at the moment. We know that it can't be in Hyrule Castle, which is where Phylion's going right now. It could be in the back of Escape, even the 3 chests back there.
That's true.
We haven't seen that yet. There's still Death Mountain that they have access to. Can't get it from the old man because no lamp, but could get it from inside Spectacle Rock. Pretty much the only location at the moment they can get up there. So that's why you don't see the runners really going up there. Besides getting the save point, it's not really a significant venture to make when you already have the flute. And Nicky, with some mad strats, using the damage boost to get a little bit of a boost towards Agnes Cave here.
This is one of those caves, too, where it's either something you check early because, you have high hopes for it, or you leave it until the end. So this isn't necessarily a bad play once you have the flute already.
Oh, and there's that Moon Pearl.
Not a bad play.
Really soon for Nicky. Nicky's going to get Dark World access. Just needs to go to the Hobo to get that Power Glove.
And it's a lot of spots that you can enter the Dark World from, too, especially with the flute. You can go in from Podside, you can go in from below Link's house, you can go in from just above Thieves Town.
Oh yeah, it's definitely one of the better access points for Dark World. Unfortunately, with Titan's Myths, really, it's only East Death Mountain and Thieves Town. Those are your only access points, which can really suck if you have no hammer to route around the world.
That does eliminate the need for Aghanim.
It does. Yep. We do have a small key for the castle tower, so there might be something in the second chest in Aghanis Tower, but we don't have a way to access it at the moment. No sword, no magic cape, so we probably won't be seeing them check that for a while. Also, no lamp, so
That would be quite the gamble in the dark room strats.
exactly. It's for something that is not even in the logic. All right, so we have Nicky who's opting to go into the back of Escape. 3 chests in here. And fylion is going to see what's inside Spectacle Rock. Ooh, map on top. Map's one of those items in Keysanity that is valuable because of the fact that it actually tells you whether or not a dungeon is a crystal or a pendant. And I think we saw another pod small key?
Misery Mire.
Misery Mire. Oh, okay. Well, another useless key.
We did get the compass to Ganon's tower. So now we've got the full set.
Oh, that's good. The full set minus the big key.
Yes, of course.
The one that actually we really want to find. So fylion setting up the Houlihan room here.
I would have thought fylion would have checked those chests, but
it's a convenient way to set it up. So while he's here already, might as well. Very nicely done. I'm gonna save and quit because you can't. When you leave, you'll just end up outside Link's house, and I think he wants to go back to the sanctuary to pick up those 3 chests.
And question mentioned in chat about the logic considering being considered for the rupees you need to get to Zora. That it just assumes you have the rupees because you can farm them in several different places.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have found our Ganon's Tower Big Key in Hype Cave. It's about as hype as you can get.
For Keysanity, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so we're getting crystal knowledge. Ice Palace and Dark Palace is our red crystals for today.
That's kind of nice to see with all of the keys that we're getting so far.
Yeah, Keysanity has a bad habit of leaving you with all the items you need, but no big keys. So it's nice to see that they actually have some big keys that they can do stuff with. Not a lot, because, you know, they don't have any items to actually do the dungeons. But,
yeah, it's either one or the other, but not usually both.
Yep.
So we have a pyramid check as fylion goes to grab their moon pearl.
So that'll give fylion Dark World access as well. Ooh, the Cane of Samaria, though, sitting on the pyramid ledge.
That's a pretty good assortment of items that are useful for progression, but where is the sword?
With the hammer, these guys can do a lot of damage. Tempered sword damage, pretty much. But the hitbox on the hammer is a bit of a pain in the butt. So without the hookshot, not able to hookshot across to the other side of the world here. Oh, we're gonna leave the bomb behind.
They've got 11. That's plenty.
So fylion is gonna actually go to one of the best farming spots for rupees in the game.
Which is kind of an interesting choice, having just got the Moon Pearl and having a ton of access. I mean, we know there's 300 rupees in Hype Cave.
Wow, that guy is rude. Bet you're just gonna steal all my pots. Or wait, steal all my rupees and break my pots.
I mean, it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. After that, I would want to break all the pots.
So fylion now just has enough for Zora. Is going to be able to go check the waterfall cave, as well as Zora item, as well as ledge item. And thank you so much, Quern, for the sub. Super appreciated. Thank you for continuing to support this Be Gaming family of channels. So Nikki is going to be hopping into the Village of Outcasts here. And ooh, finally I'm picking up a bottle. That's a nice thing to find before going into the Dark World without the mirror.
Yeah, it's just one more item you can check off in your mental, oh god, what did I miss? list.
Wow, the single arrow, though, sitting on that ledge. I doubt either of these runners are going to go out of their way to pick that up.
No, I think they have plenty. They don't need that extra one.
Unfortunately, they don't even have space in their inventory for it. Alright, so Zora, hopefully not handing out life lessons today. Oh, definitely handing out life lessons.
Zora's just trying to make sure you never get lost.
A compass for Eastern Palace. Small key for Ganon's Tower in Skullwoods here. And a compass for Turtle Rock. Well, lots of compasses and maps. Well, not even maps, actually, just compasses.
Finally went back for that extra bomb under the 50-50 rock right outside Link's house, realizing he only had one. Which is good, because you need both for Hype Cave.
You most certainly do. And looks like that's where Phylion's going right now. He's going to be able to pick up his Ganon's Tower big key. So without the fire rod, Nicky is not going to be able to check the second half of Skullwoods here.
But at least they'll be able to make use of that cane fairly early to place the block instead of having to deal with the statues and the Gibdos.
Yep.
Fylion, I imagine, breathing a very big sigh of relief out.
And Nicky picking up a sword, the first sword of the game, 26 minutes in Skullwoods.
And the sword, of course, being a very lovely thing to have until you find the lantern, too. Dark rooms are much easier with a sword.
Yes, definitely. So we're getting our first map check. Skullwoods and Turtle Rock, both crystals.
So the pendant, laser bridge, Ganon Tower key is no more.
Oh, I never said it would be Ganon Tower.
Oh, no, I did. That was me.
Yes, yes. Unfortunately, pendant's off the table. Laser bridge is still in play. One day, maybe. Mirror, though, in C-shaped house.
The perfect place to keep a mirror, too.
Yeah. It's very nice to have in here, especially if you find yourselves the Titan's mitts. Being able to drop off the blacksmith and the purple chest via the mirror is a lot nicer than having to walk it all the way around, then save and quit when you're gallivanting in the overworld. So Fylion does have enough money here to do the digging game. 80 rupees is what it takes.
Now, some people go ahead and recoup their losses at the digging game. Do you stick around and try and get some 20 rupees out of it?
It depends on how short I am, but Fylion, interestingly enough, just picked up the small key for Thieves Town. We know that Nicky is in here right now, but if Nicky finds a big key for Thieves Town in here, then that could actually be really interesting later on. So we'll get to see, hopefully... Ooh, another pod key. Hopefully not having a vanilla big key. Nope, just 300 rupees, but Nicky is now rich.
A couple hordes of rupees in there.
Yeah, there's normally 300 rupees in Village of Outcasts. They're just not in Thieves Town. Oh my goodness, but there's a fire rod. We have a fire rod and the sword available, so... Skullwoods?
We know it's a crystal.
What does Mothula have for us today?
Now, I wouldn't really necessarily venture in this early myself. Would you go after Mothula with 5 hearts and a fighter sword?
Not 5 hearts. No, definitely not 5 hearts. Definitely not with fighter sword. They do have the hammer. So there's that, but there's a bunch of other locations they could check. Mothula is not friendly with low hearts, so those spikes, no matter what mail you have, will do the exact same amount of damage. So it's better to either get red mail and go face tank Mothula, or yeah, opt out of all the shenanigans together.
Yeah, just as you say, with the face tank, just make sure you take all your damage from Mothula, or just wait.
Yep. And Mothula's hammer hitbox is kind of annoying as well. You have to really get up in there. So fylion finding his blue boomerang as well from Skullwoods. I don't think we've seen the Sun Prize yet.
No, I don't think we have.
So Nicky actually, with the mirror, is able to check the cave south upon a grove here. Or the Grove Cave. Or Cave 45, whichever one everybody calls it today.
It's a lot of names for that. Oh yeah, fylion doesn't have their Samaria either, so they can't go grab that, or they can't use that strat on this room, whatever it is.
No, unfortunately he does not. Did not go to the pyramid. Oh no, fylion. Unfortunately, let go of the let go of this statue on the 1 pixel. There you go. Whew. That's actually really scary. Because you can actually get yourself stuck there.
But it's worth it for the sword.
Yep. Without the fire rod, not going to be able to do much, so...
So far, Nicky's done very well with their routing. They managed to find the mirror before going up to Death Mountain. fylion, of course, checked it before, and managed to check the cave south of Haunted Grove. Because they had the mirror.
So fylion is opting to go and check the bumper cave up here before going into the village of outcasts. And we're seeing Bumper Cave just unfortunately having the magic shield. The magic shield! Yep. We're doing this again.
The magic sword is an important... No, I'm kidding. The book, though, that's important.
The book is very important, especially considering it's right outside of Hyrule, or goodness gracious, right outside of Tower of Hera. There is a tablet that Nicky is going to go check right now. Nope, Nicky is not going to go check because, you know, you have the fighter sword. You can actually get the knowledge of what's there, saving you the trouble of having to come all the way back just to check that one spot. I'm actually really curious if they just forgot that they had the book.
Yeah, sometimes you get it in your mind, you're like, okay, after I do Hera, I'm going to Spiral Cave. After I do Hera, I'm going to Spiral Cave. And then you get something else that, like, allows you to do something, you know, whether it's half magic or the Cane of Burna, you can drop down to do Spike Cave. So, nope, I had that in my mind, I'm going to do that. It's one of the toughest things about Randomizer, just being able to adjust on the fly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Fylion's checking the cave in the back of the graveyard pretty early, without being able to, you know, do Bonk Rocks or King's Tomb. But it's paying off.
Wow! The Titan Smiths!
Oh my god.
That is a huge payoff. Also, fylion having the mirror, that'll probably lead him back up to, or that'll probably lead him up to Death Mountain fairly soon as well, because he's going to be able to do both the Death Mountain items, the East Death Mountain and the Dark East Death Mountain items all at the same time. Nicky finding the powder on Death Mountain.
They might be able to work in the Magic Bat too when they do grab their Titan's mitts and they're doing blacksmith stuff.
All right, another wow, boots. We got a heart container and some boots. We're definitely in need of heart containers. So, and a big key for Tower of Hera. Well, that's a good thing to find.
The perfect time to go back and check the tablet. As Nicky was finding the boots and the big key for Hera, fylion grabbing their fire rod. Did we ever
So-
end up seeing that bottle check from fylion?
I don't recall seeing it. So we have the small key from Misery Empire, unfortunately in the Bonk Rocks, which is definitely not something that they want. Finally, I'm doing the unfortunate slow way of the Peg Cave, because without having those boots from Death Mountain, not able to do the item dash.
No, and that definitely speeds things up. Nikki, of course, blending into the surroundings of the dark room with their choice of sprite.
But yeah, actually, I think maybe Sick Kid gave 50 rupees, if I'm not mistaken. I might have seen it.
Totally just gonna trust you on that one.
Heart piece from the Dwarven Smiths.
And red boomerang from the old man.
Phylion's blacksmiths over there repairing broken hearts. So, I just want to point out, at the moment, we're pretty much only one item away from Ice Palace if they want to do it without the keys. In the logic, Ice Palace requires the big key and one small key in order to be able to complete it. But it did give the Cane of Samaria, which could be an indication that it doesn't need the small key.
Absolutely. So we've got both gloves, or both pairs of mitts. We got the hammer. We got a fire rod, so we do have a fire source to go fight things. As Nikki goes up Tower of Hera, we see fylion being able to put their gloves to good use.
Yep, back into the dark world we go. And so fylion actually looks like he might be headed towards Mothula with low magic, low heart. Oh, taking a little bit of damage.
fylion, of course, probably wishing that they found that second sword that Nikki just found in the top of one of the chests in the middle floor of Tower of Hera.
Yep. But Nikki just picking up the arrow inventory upgrade. But Nikki's actually done a very good job of routing this seed so far. Just finding the right items at just the right time. It's been really, really good. So finally, I was gonna opt to pick up the full magic refill in the wall here. So Nikki is gonna be doing the spins and slashes. Nikki does have the hammer, which only takes 3 hits, but if you don't have the sword out, then you could potentially get knocked off the edge if Moldorm decides that it wants to be a butt. So finding a big key though for Swamp Palace, interesting.
Unlocking a single chest.
Yeah, one of the more useless big keys. Between that one and the Skullwoods one, not sure which one is least impressive, but alright, Nikki is going to go check the ether tablet now. Oh, but fylion getting a heart container though right before Mothula, that's actually really good. Alright, and Nikki picking up a small key to Ganon's tower. Unfortunately, it would have been nice if that was actually the small key for Tower of Hera, considering he's right here.
That would have been far too convenient, though. I gotta give a lot of props to fylion for going to fight Mothula with the equipment that they do. It's very brave.
Yep, I could not do it. No magic. Now, we'll have one hit. Nothing in that bottle either, I think. I think the bottle was empty.
Yeah, but they did go pick up a potion. I believe. Someone did.
Ooh. It's unfortunate the fighter sword is so small. Wow, but he's doing an excellent job of dodging. Oh, and there we go. There's that potion that you're just saying. Just continue to use those fire rod shots, but gotta be careful. Oh boy. It seems like Mothula is not being nice here, but fylion gets it. Very, very nicely done. Gets a small key for his troubles for Turtle Rock.
Useful at least, but whew. Withheld breath while that fight was going on.
Yeah, that was an insane fight. Very, very nicely done. Nicky dropping off the bottle here at the sick kid. Getting his 50 rupees, so it was in fact 50 rupees.
Yep, you were right. Oh, almost missing powder. They remembered they had it to go check.
No Titan's mitts yet though, so not able to combine it with the blacksmiths and purple chest. We're gonna see what the magic bat has today. Phylion's opting to go up to Death Mountain now, so he's gonna be able to check East Death Mountain as well as Dark East Death Mountain. Without an invincibility item or you know, more hearts and an invincibility item, not gonna be able to check Spike Cave yet.
No, but even then, Spike Cave is kind of a weird place as far as Redding goes. But they will get their boots, so Fylion getting their boots is going to speed things up significantly.
Ooh, I think that was Desert Palace was a crystal? That was a super quick map check. Yep, it was a crystal. So Nicky with the Master Sword is going to be checking the first chest in Hyrule Castle. Not having the lamp means that the second chest is still going to be outside the logic. But we might see, because we have Fire Rod, you're able to light up some of the torches. So we might see Nicky opt to continue and just light the torches, making this a second room a little bit easier. So Fylion using the book to get some knowledge here. Finding the small key of Evil's Bane.
And Nicky just opting to do it fully dark.
Yep. No fire rod today. Oh, maybe. Oh, be careful. Only half a heart left. Gotta be really careful. No, unfortunately, did not make it.
So we do have that small key on the island in the sky that Fylion can get. So Nicky just bails out. It's not worth it. It's not, again, one of those, it's not even in the logic points.
Yeah, Nicky unfortunately has been struggling a bit today with the dark rooms. That one, and then oh, not the dark room. The room right after the dark room was with the vanilla big key in Eastern Palace, taking an unfortunate death there. It just seems like unfortunately the deaths for Nicky have been at such disadvantageous positions. Disadvantageous positions? I don't know what that word is, but we're going with it. Not good spots. Dying in things that are really far away from everything else.
So chat was asking if we've had a pedestal check yet. We have not yet, but with Nicky having the fire rod now and the mirror and the book, they might go up to fight Moth, and then we will probably get our first one.
So finally, I'm picking up the magic powder. I'm very curious to see what's going to be on Dark East Death Mountain. We haven't had a chance to see that yet. Right now, Phylion's going through everything that Nicky's picked up. We'll probably see now that he's about to pick up his Tower of Hera big key. He's probably going to go back to Tower of Hera. And then go into the Dark World. That'll give him at least... yeah, that'll give him at least a sword upgrade, I believe, is in there.
Sword in Tower of Hera. I hope we see the hookshot in the bonkable chest in the hookshot cave.
Ooh, that would be interesting. Hookshot is one of those things that can be really trolly right now because the only dungeon that really requires it is Swamp Palace, sorry, and Swamp Palace is a pendant. So they have the access to Misery Mire with the boots. They could just bonk across. So, and Ice Palace, depending upon how your keys are set up, you might not actually need it as well. And because this is Keysanity, you're more likely to find the keys outside of the dungeon. You'll have that key set up that you need in order to do Ice Palace without the hook shot. So,
absolutely.
So Nicky gonna be grabbing all the chests here, and Fylion looking like he's using the Turtle Rock portal to see Dark World. Oh, Nicky, unfortunately, struggling here with the fire rod. Gonna make it a little bit more difficult. I don't think Nicky can actually... Oh, there you go. Has the blue potion, though. So, gonna opt to use it here instead of in the Mothula fight.
Fylion finding a map and Big 20 in the Super Bunny Cave. For those of you who do not know why it's called the Super Bunny Cave, it's because you can go, when you fall down a hole as the bunny, so Dark World without the pearl, you can actually just act normally. So they call that the Super Bunny state, and that's why that's the Super Bunny Cave, because you just fall down a hole to grab those chests.
So Fylion just picking up a heart and then immediately losing it by falling off the edge so you can get back to the door. So we have Nicky who's in the Mothula fight right now. Nicky has to be a little bit careful because... Oh, never mind. Mothula's dead. Did you see it? Because it was pretty quick.
I blinked. I missed it.
Yeah, very, very nicely done. Mothula fight. Fantastic job. Gets the second crystal of the day. Skull Woods and Tower of Hera. So we get to see what the next play that Nicky does.
Ooh, just
not going to be mirroring though.
Oh, yeah, we didn't get a pet check. That's kind of disappointing. I guess it'll be a mystery. Fylion got a Ganon's Tower small key sitting on that island in the sky.
You know, Ganon really has to talk to all his minions. Because you have Ganon's Tower small key sitting on the on the ether tablet. You have a Ganon's Tower small key just laying outside on the island there. Who is he giving these keys to? Because they're just dropping them everywhere.
Some very lazy people too. It's like, hey, go hide the keys. I don't want anyone to come find me. It's, all right, we'll put it here, and no one's gonna look this close.
Right? So Nicky, now that Nicky has the boots, is opting to go check the lumberjack to see what's here. Finally, on picking up the Master Sword, probably sitting there going, "Oh darn, I could have had this for Mothula."
It's all right. It's still better to have it for Moldorm. And as Fylion is about to be super disappointed by this big chest pickup. Looks like Nicky's making their way, hopefully, over to Grave. Yep. All right, good.
All right, so Nicky is going to be picking up the Titan Smiths fairly soon. That's going to be great for Nicky. I wonder at this point where that would lead Nicky, because Nicky can go to the Mire area with the Titan Smiths and the flute. Check all of the mini Mire shed. Can check the checkerboard cave. Can see what medallions required for Misery Mire. Or it could go up Death Mountain even and check all that stuff. So fylion picking up his next crystal. 2 crystals down. 5 more to go. And interestingly enough, we know Turtle Rock is a crystal, Ice Palace is still a crystal, Pod is a crystal, and Desert Palace is a crystal. So we are missing only 1 more crystal for our knowledge at the moment. Everything else is going to be pendants. So
Ooh.
next map that we find might let them know what everything is, and I think that was Quake.
That looked like Quake to me. So we're missing any medallion, but we have separate medallions for each dungeon. Which I don't know if that's better or worse sometimes.
All right, so we have the mini Mire cave here, which didn't hold anything of significant value. And Nicky is opting to go into Desert Palace, which is a fantastic play here. With having the small key, you're able to check the items on the right side. So you have the torch, the vanilla map room, the vanilla compass room, as well as the vanilla big key, and getting a fairy for the troubles.
And as much as these runners have diverted, we have some sync in this room. I feel like they're going to go very different places after this, though.
Probably. Fylion does have a little bit of an advantage with having checked the East Death Mountain, or East Dark Death Mountain, and all the spots up there. I feel like we probably won't see Nicky going up there for a while, at least until Hookshot is found. Small key to Skullwoods, but there's not a lot in play. We can do a little bit of Ice Palace, but not much. Without the big key in Logic, you can't finish it. Without the small keys, you can't finish it without the Hookshot. So there's still a lot missing.
This is true. Maybe Checkerboard Cave will hold something nice. Be interesting to help.
They can check the Bombos tablet.
That's true. It'd be interesting if this had it's just got a key. I was hoping for the
Swamp Palace? Turtle Rock.
Well, that's not useful just yet. I was hoping it would let them into Mire, because Fylion would be able to go in, but not, finish it without the cane.
Yes, that's right. The Cane of Samaria. I totally forgot that was on the pyramid. Still awaiting somebody to come pick it up. So Fylion hadn't gone into Thieves Town to get the first 4 chests, and I believe that's where he's going to be going now. Without the big key, not going to be able to complete it, but we don't know whether or not Thieves Town is a crystal or a pendant.
Chat asking, how do we tell who's winning? In Keysanity, it's pretty difficult. Crystal's usually an indicator in something like open mode, but with this one, you have to kind of look at a combination of the items and the keys found and just who can do what at this point.
And the thing is literally anything can change at any moment. By skipping a chest or forgetting a location or somebody finding something first, being able to do more dungeons in go mode, there's it's incredibly impossible to tell at this early on who's gonna win or anything like that. You can say that somebody has an advantage and whatnot, but ultimately, if somebody forgets an item, or has an unfortunate death or something, everything can change.
Absolutely. And while we've seen both of these areas covered before by everyone separately, it is fair to say, in this case, we've seen Nicky route a bit better, get items at the right time that allowed them to not double dip certain areas. So they might have a slight advantage in terms of routing, but they did take some unfortunate deaths.
Yep. So fylion is going to be going into the magic bat, which we know is not particularly anything useful, but Nicky is going to be dropping off the blacksmith and going to be getting a piece of a broken heart. So a little bit more heart for these runners. They are sitting a little bit low with their heart containers. Not too bad now, but early on, haven't been getting a lot of heart containers.
No, but that blue mail supplemented all of that nicely before, so there was something keeping them alive. You know, of course, with their skill level. These runners are doing great.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So it looks like fylion might be our first runner into pod. With 3 keys, his pod senses are tingling, and gonna be opting to head into pod. Now, there's a few, pretty much with 3 keys and no bow, there's a few chests in the front and a few chests in the back that he can check, but logically the rest of the stuff, not really gonna be in the logic at this point with so little keys. Doing the nice Kiki dash strats. If you dash all the way to the door with Kiki, what'll happen is Kiki will start the animation from farther away and will be slower to open the door. If you tap back while you're dashing with Kiki towards the door, then Kiki catches up with you, saves a little bit of time. Nicky in Ice Palace.
Now, it's possible to check everywhere, but you have to use some bomb jumps and be a bit creative about it. But
Yep.
The logic isn't going to catch up to you yet. Unless you find a key in here, of course.
We do know that Ice Palace is required, so no hook shot yet, so these penguins are a little bit of a pain in the butt to kill.
They wouldn't have been a pain in the butt if Nicky had gone to Palace Darkness. fylion just got their Tempered Sword.
That's a very, very nice find. A small key for Turtle Rock in Ice Palace.
There's the hook shot.
Oh my. So, interesting. So hookshot could have been a fairly trolly item, and I'm really glad that they found it so early. Another small key for ice. Oh, there's a Ice Palace small key. If we see a Ice Palace big key, then this could be the logic. So, not having a lamp though, gonna make this dark room. But finding the bow.
Finding the wow, bow in the dark too.
And finding no idea. Not exactly sure what that was. It wasn't rupees. Might have been arrows or bombs. Wasn't a map or compass, so interesting.
The sword, butter sword, was found in the dark.
Oh, well, that's a thing. Getting the map of Eastern Palace, so that is one of our mystery dungeons here.
So finding the bow is actually very useful because fylion can then just mirror and finish off Eastern.
Yep. No lamps, so dark rooms are gonna be a thing. Small key to Tower of Hera. So we know that the lamp isn't gonna be in there. But something else could be of importance.
Yeah, I got to give thanks to the chat and the tracker for that. I definitely didn't catch the butter sword initially either.
So there's one more item in this dungeon here. Unfortunately, this one enemy is trolling fylion a little bit, but I think he's got it now, heading up towards the last chest, then gonna mirror out. Probably check the 2 items on the right side here.
I think Fylion's trying to decide what they want to do. They can check the vanilla big key chest, or go down the right side, see what they find, because it's possible to beat Helmsor right now.
It is, but that's not something that anybody wants to do right now. Definitely not without at least having another small key.
Absolutely. Nicky's going to fight Cold Stare with half a heart. I do believe they have a blue potion. I saw them grab one before they went in, but still a scary situation. And they have that fairy.
There we go, using the potion. And nicely getting them in the corner. Gonna be using the fire rod, hopefully getting some ricochet shots. Ooh, Cold Stare dodging some of those fire rod shots.
Right side pot paying off.
Yeah, either medallion.
Now Fylion just needs to go get their cane on top of the pyramid. And Meyer is, well, lamp aside. Oh, you're right. Turtle Rock.
And Turtle Rock, no big key and only 2 small keys. But we know that with Keysanity, the objective is to see how little you need to double dip dungeons, because it is definitely known that sometimes you need to go in a few times.
Yeah, with the sheer amount of randomization, it's impossible to avoid at times.
Nicky looks like they're going to be going to the pod next too.
It's a good move. They can grab their hook shot. They can maybe grab their bow. Nicky was having some issues with dark rooms before, so hopefully they can get it. But it's a lot of value in pod right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. The bow is huge. And having the fire rod for this dungeon, for Eastern, the back part, makes this room significantly easy. All you need to do is just walk in this step and fire rod to your right or left, and boom, you're in. So that's right there what Nicky just did with the Kiki dash was what I was referring to earlier, where the animation for Kiki is longer if you don't tap back, because Kiki starts farther back. So it's just a few seconds, but sometimes in these races, the race can literally come down to just a couple seconds. Having the silver arrows, fylion is making this extremely easy.
Absolutely. Like, we found the silver arrows pretty early. So they're just a tease until you find the bow. But now that you have the bow, they're getting put to good use, especially before having to kill some of these bosses that just are so much easier with silvers.
So we could also see something of value in Hookshot Cave as well. We're still missing the Swamp Palace small key, so Swamp Palace is out of play at the moment, even though it's the green pendant. And we saw Nicky on the practice. We saw Nicky practicing bomb jumps earlier. I think they have it right now. Very, very nicely done. So, by the way, I just want to point out, we do have all of our crystals and pendants. With Eastern Palace being our last crystal here, that is all of them. We know for a fact that Thieves Town is a pendant and Misery Mire is also a pendant. So fylion going to check Bombo's tablet instead of going to the pyramid. So not going to get that cane yet.
Both of our runners having a bit of issue with the dark maze in pod.
Small key to Tower of Hera, and fylion picking up a blue rupee. So, Nikki opted to go straight into this room instead of picking up the other items first. So, gonna have to mirror out and then come to the back here, because if you walk through the door, you use a key, unfortunately. So, and bomb jump is exactly you use bomb jump in order to avoid using that key. So. And fylion now going into Ice Palace. I'm going to be completing Cold Stare. I don't think we saw any more. I don't think Nikki fully cleared it, but I could be mistaken. Obviously didn't get the big chest, but I don't recall seeing some of the rooms. But I think that's because no hookshot and no small key.
The butter sword just makes confit out of those ducks.
Yep. Now you're making me hungry. There's the bow for Nikki. So one more item in here, and gonna be picking up that sword upgrade.
Then immediately going to the right side. I wonder if Nikki is going to go straight for Helma after.
So Nikki is short a sword. I'm trying to remember exactly where it was.
It was in the bottom chest in pod.
Okay, that's what I thought. So Nikki hasn't completed the one chest. fylion trying to set up the bomb jump here. I think you might have it this time. There we go. Perfectly done. First try.
First try, ever try.
Exactly. So Nikki's a little bit low on hearts here, but not going to be too bad. Can opt to either death warp out of here. No, Nikki has a fairy, so definitely don't do that. Mirror out. So now we're going to get that one last chest check. Or Nikki can opt to check the big, vanilla big key chest as well. Which looks like that's exactly what they're doing.
That means they'll get their butter sword at least.
Yep.
Just jumped straight down after. It would be incredibly convenient if that was another pod key up top here. Nope.
So,
no such luck.
Pod key in Ice Palace.
So as of right now, you had to go to Ice Palace to get pod to get a key for Ice Palace to go back to pod to get
something. yeah, gotta get 6 keys. Oh, Thieves Town. That's an interesting key to find, considering Thieves Town is in fact a pendant.
4 more items to find though, and they do have the small key if I'm not mistaken.
fylion with the intentional bonk strats. That was impressive. Setting up perfectly for those Freezors to get hit with the fire rod.
going back up to check that final chest in the iced tea room.
Yep, getting some life beforehand. Definitely don't want to go in here with not enough. Without bombos, you need 8 fire rod shots on Cold Stare. So it's important that fylion not lose any magic here. Getting another heart container. I think he was deciding whether or not he would kill those guys for extra magic, but opted to instead not.
Yeah, just going up and around, didn't want to deal with waiting for those guys or falling down.
Ooh, darn. Just a bomb. So we have Nicky, who's going to be going into the Armos fight right away. Again with silver arrows. Gonna make this fight look easy.
Yeah, and a great job in the dark room going up to the knights. Ooh, missed that one shot, but caught the other one.
Alright, so Phylion's gonna be heading into the Cold Stare fight as Nicky picks up their next crystal. At this point, where do you think Nicky should go?
I don't know. I guess East Death Mountain, maybe the Hookshot Cave.
There's a lot still that Nicky can do, but they're all like little bits and pieces of things. Fylion has to be really careful here. Oh my goodness. There we go.
Well fought. Good job, Fylion.
Gets 100 rupees from Cold Stare. So Nicky is in fact going to East Death Mountain. With the hookshot, that could be interesting. Nicky does in fact have 3 keys for Turtle Rock, but does not have the big key. But we could see the big key sitting outside in Hookshot Cave still, or even in the dungeon itself.
Chat asking what chest Nicky missed in Ice Palace, I assume. And that was the 3 on the right side, where the normal vanilla big key is.
Yeah, there was a few chests there. So Nicky does not have a few items that Fylion does, because when Nicky went in, Nicky didn't have the hook shot, which was in pod, as well as the small key, which was in pod. So would have to bomb jump over to the other side. So it wasn't in the logic at the time. So taking that gamble, unfortunately, didn't pay off. But so we have Nicky, who's going to be opening up Turtle Rock. Will we see a dip into Turtle Rock?
I think so. I think hopefully they go to Hookshot Cave first. Check those, 4 chests, 3 chests that we haven't seen. Maybe there's something useful. Looks like they're going to do that.
Yeah, I think.
Then,
oops, sorry.
No. As you were saying, I think they're going to go right into Turtle Rock. You might as well if you're already up here.
Yeah, and I think maybe I don't think Nicky's checked Super Bunny Cave either. So Fylion got this hammer and the small key for Thieves Town fairly early. So I wonder if he's thinking that maybe there might be something good in here. But these enemies are not letting him through Hellway very easily.
Yeah, that's how it's earned that name. So we've seen some of Nicky's decisions just happen to work out. Finding the right item at the right time. Hopefully this will happen again.
Ooh, another pod key.
So
and the lamp in Thieves Town for Fylion.
That lamp is very nice, but that pod key kind of negates the whole right side of Eastern Palace or Ice Palace, minus that Thieves Town big key. So if there's nothing else in Thieves Town and Nicky is okay with doing some of the dark rooms, We'll see if they have to go back.
So Nikki's about to pick up the Ganon Tower small key up here. Phylion's gonna be picking up the item in the big chest. Oh, the Cane of Burna. Interesting. If Spike Cave is in the logic, that could be something that's significant.
Absolutely. Especially until they find Cape.
Compass for Swamp Palace.
Are we missing any compasses at this point? I think we found...
Yeah, we pretty much found everything. I think there's still...
Well, Thieves Town.
No, yeah, Thieves Town compass, obviously. It's not on the screen. Alright, so Phylion's gonna be dropping off the maiden here. What is this? The maiden turned into a boss?
Oh my god.
Who knew?
I didn't see that one coming.
You know, I was blind to it. Picking up 3 bombs. And the blue pendant.
Did we ever get that pedestal check?
No, we did not.
Could be important. Who knows?
Yeah, we need Quake if we want to get into Misery Mire for pedestal. So I don't think either runner is really going to go out of their way to check the pedestal until all of a sudden they have access to all the pendant dungeons.
One of the most trolly things, it could still be Ice Rod.
It can.
Could still be Desert Palace Big Key, it looks like.
That's one of the scary things. Big keys can be on the pedestal, as long as they're not for their pendant dungeons. Because they're only required for their one dungeon. Oh. Nikki continuing through Turtle Rock here. As Fylion picks up the old man. Not going to get anything of value from him, but with the lamp makes this area a little bit easier, not having to hold out the sword. Yeah, it's definitely nice.
Yeah, and Fylion will finally get that save point.
And the red boomerang.
Now, I've spoken to him. I do believe he's more of a fan of the blue, but...
He is. Blue ring, best ring.
Nikki opting to skip the big chest. Common strategy in Keysanity, but sometimes it's a big risk.
Well, I'm actually wondering... I'm wondering if they're thinking that they have the big key. Because skipping that chest when you don't have the big key doesn't really pay off normally, in case, like, yeah. A big key might be sitting in its vanilla location. Now Nikki is going to have to go all the way back once they check the Mimic Cave, if, let's say, the big key is there. So Fylion is also going into Turtle Rock, and we're going to get to see, hopefully on his screen, whether or not that big key, vanilla big key chest is needed. So I'm wondering, no, Nikki is not going to check that chest. So we're going to see Nikki probably head back towards, ooh, Ice Rod Cave, yes. That was one thing that Nikki couldn't get earlier. Because Nikki didn't have bombs by the time they left the mini Moldarm cave.
No, that's true. And we as Chad has pointed out, fylion is still missing their Cane of Samaria.
Oh yes, that's right. No pyramid, but we do have the Cane of Burna. So we are going to check the Spike Cave here.
Cane of Burna and a bottle is technically all you need. Ooh, it looks like Nicky's going back into Ice Palace to finish off those chests that they didn't check before.
That'll be good for Nikki. There's a couple things there, like the Thieves Town big key that Nikki doesn't have. Doesn't make anything really worth it in Thieves Town, but
Means no more dark rooms.
Yep. So, unfortunately, Spike Cave did not pay off. So, fylion fluting away here.
Decided he didn't like that rock in particular.
But we're continuing through Pod here with 5 keys. The dungeon is now completely completable because he had done the hammer jump. So
if I'm not mistaken, too, he does have 2 sitting in his inventory, or should, because of the one in Ice Palace.
Yeah. He's got he had 5 altogether, so you get 6 keys necessary to beat Pod, and if you do the hammer jump, that knocks off 1 key. So I think he's got 3. Because he didn't check the room. Oh man, Nikki! Oh no! Taking an unfortunate death in Ice Palace. Does have the fairy at least. So gonna at least help there, but might have wanted to save that for some bomb jump stress. Nope, not even gonna do that. Because you only need bomb jump if you want to actually skip half the dungeon. So that room with the spikes is just killer. I think, in my opinion, one of the most difficult rooms in the game to
definitely
get through without taking damage.
fylion going back to check the Harmless Hellway, I believe.
So what do we got? And just a heart piece. So with 1 small key, gonna now be able to go to the boss room. With the boots, gonna be able to bonk his way across and hit this switch. Jump back down and voila! Nikki picking up a small key for Pod as well. I think that will bring Nikki's key count up to 5. So with the bomb jump, also going to be able to fully complete Pod.
So, hoping for a good fight from Helmasaur. Helmasaur can be tough, but they've got a ton of equipment at this point, but mostly hoping that fylion goes, oh right, the pyramid.
Yes, at this point, with the difficult part is when you get the flute so early on, movement is it's a little bit chaotic because you're thinking, okay, where can I go next that has the most amount of chests? Not, like this particular one place is out of the way and I'm gonna have to walk there, but I have the flute and I can get like 16 chests over here, so let's go this way kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those points where you start to get like, oh, I should do the pyramid, but I'll do this first. And then you remember that you thought about the pyramid, and then you forget to go to the pyramid.
Yep. And with that is all the items for in Ice Palace for Nikki. fylion continuing to Helmasaur here. I feel like Nikki at this point is probably going to want to go to Pod as well, just to finish it off. It's nice when you don't have any dungeons left to do and you're just looking for items.
Nikki taking a second to think. Maybe go to Thief Town next.
Using the looks like he's gonna be getting a potion. So fylion 2 slashes with the butter sword, Helmosaur goes down. Easy peasy.
Chat asking which chest is the iced tea chest. That's the one when you're on the same level as the big chest in Ice Palace, and you kind of go around and through the room with all of the wall shadows, and down or around with the fire bar, and it looks like a sideways T, and it has 2 jellies.
So fylion is going through the Dark World. I think this is our pyramid check here. So, and also, interestingly enough, fylion does have both red crystals. So we could also see a pyramid fairy at the same time. So I'm wondering if, well, you would think that he would opt to mirror flute and then access the Dark World that way, but could combine it with those two. What we're looking for right now is the Desert Palace big key, the Turtle Rock big key, the Ice Rod, and I think that's it. Because Kane and Samaria, we know where that is. But just a couple big keys. Where are you going, fylion?
Oh, going to check Aga.
Well, he does have the lamp, and there is also the chest in the sewers that they're missing that they haven't checked as well.
That's true. So this will be interesting. He'll either finish off Aga, which hopefully not. Missing a key still, right?
Yeah.
But either way, we'll end up basically back on top of the pyramid.
Alright, so big key for Ice Palace. There's Ice Palace in the logic now.
As fylion grabs their cane of Samaria, I wonder if this is going to take fylion into Turtle Rock.
I'm really worried that big vanilla big key chest is actually Turtle Rock big key. I hope it's not, for Nicky's sake. So fylion opting to go into the sewers, check the last item in Hyrule Castle. As Nicky is heading into Pod, finish up this dungeon, and then these runners are gonna be pretty close to completing the exact same dungeons here.
Absolutely. And chat mentioning, so IP, like Ice Palace Double Dip, was technically required, because Ice Palace led to Thieves Town, which is Lamp, which led to Hyrule Castle for the Ice Palace Big Key.
Yep.
Which could mean something, or nothing. Who knows?
Did fylion pick up the cane?
Yes.
Okay, good. I didn't see it on the thing, so I was worried for a second. So fylion heading to Catfish now. I don't think Catfish held anything good. I think Nicky checked it earlier. And Nicky setting up the bonk as well. Nails it first try. Perfect. One of the nice little strats about having the boots in Pod is being able to do that instead of having to walk all the way around. You just have to dash against the stair railing there. And that sets it up nicely. You have to hold back so you don't fall off the edge as soon as you get onto the ledge. It's just a hard piece. Just a hard piece from Catfish.
but with the flute, less of a time sink than it could be. So someone asking, the main goal of Randomizer is, and that is, yes, to get all of the items, beat all of the crystal dungeons. So get all of the items that are required to beat all the crystal dungeons, and then go beat Ganon's Tower and beat Ganon.
Yep, that's the goal for at least the tournament ones that you've seen so far. There are other versions where your goals are different, but basically, yeah, you want to beat the game as quickly as possible. Well, not even as quickly as possible. That's just for the tournament, again. Just basically, the objective is to get to the Triforce room. That's your final goal.
Fylion just tying up a couple of these loose ends as Nicky works towards their next crystal.
So at this point, I'm wondering, we have no Swamp Palace small key, so no access to Swamp Palace. We have no Desert Palace big key, so still not able to do that. I'm thinking that either the Pyramid Fairy has something, or this chest inside Turtle Rock does, and Phylion's looking like he's going towards Turtle Rock as well. So now that he's got the cane.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Fylion checks it.
I would think, just because he's running out of options, that he's going to. But with Nicky now picking up this, with Nicky now picking up the last crystal needed to do the Pyramid Fairy, we might see something of value being there. 2 chests versus the one that we haven't seen in Turtle Rock.
Interesting. That would have been useful for Fylion to route in with their pyramid check.
Yes. I wonder if because he hadn't found the Ice Palace big key yet, he considered the fairy not in the logic yet, and maybe that's why he didn't do it. But then finding the Ice Palace big key on the pyramid area in the Ega Tower section might have put a wrench in things a little bit.
We'll get the check either way for Nicky, but yeah, hopefully, you know, for the sake of the close race, hopefully it's not something significant.
So Nicky is heading towards the pyramid with the bomb. Nicky still has to check the one chest in Ega Tower as well as the sewers. So we'll get to see which choice is going to pay off here. It's the final countdown for Nicky with the bomb there. There's a hard piece. Oh, and a big key for Desert Palace. Uh-oh.
That's very important. That's another piece of progression that we were missing. And Nicky's about to get the option of a third dip into Ice Palace. What would you do? Saku, would you go back into Ice Palace for a third time after finding this big key?
No. Not unless every other option had been exhausted. It's such a long trek. Like, I know it's not that long, but it just feels extremely long.
And it's one of those things, too. You kind of, after you make, well, some gambles, you kind of have to either stand behind them and accept that you know, if you lose, it's because of that, right? Or you just kind of have to go immediately and be like, yep, I got to catch up. can have one of two choices in that situation.
Yep.
Either way, it doesn't feel good.
So it looks like fylion is going to be heading into... Oh my goodness! Getting this last chest, it needs to be a big key for it to matter, but it's a small key for pod. Oh no! Well, there's the last key for the logic for pod. So fylion is going to be going to the Mimic Cave now, but that is heartbreaking for him.
And at the same time too, doesn't leave fylion with a whole lot of options.
No, he's got the Ice Palace big key. He's got the Pyramid Fairy. Those are his options at the moment. So I'm thinking that's it. I don't recall any other spots that he's missed. He's been pretty efficient with clearing everything out.
So now if Nicky finds a Turtle Rock small key here, but not the big key, I don't even know what they have left to check at this point, but that could send them right back up to check that small that small chest.
At that point, it would be the Ice Palace big chest. Oh, two red rupees at the same time. The value here in this game.
We got synchronized disappointment.
So fylion hopefully flew into 4. Yes, gonna be I'm pretty sure gonna be doing now the Pyramid Fairy. I'm gonna be finding that Desert Palace key. Now, interestingly enough, Nicky might find the Swamp Palace small key, or in fact the Quake Medallion here on the Landmo. We haven't seen access to either Swamp Palace. Oh, but fylion, instead of doing the pyramid, he's going into Swamp Palace. The first test. Oh no.
Could pay off. It's not likely, but it could.
Totally forgot this was a thing. So at the moment, what both runners are looking for is the Turtle Rock big key. fylion missing the Desert Palace big key, which is sitting at the Pyramid Fairy. No way. A swamp. Oh no. That is not what I wanted to see there. Oh no.
And the frustration bombs.
Oh, well, that's a thing.
So I guess Nicky is either, again, Ice Palace big key or big chest, or check the first thing in Swamp.
I wonder, yeah, or it could be going back up to Turtle Rock, because there is that one chest in Turtle Rock.
You're stuck between 3 like really equally unfortunate decisions.
So Nicky looks like they're going back to Turtle Rock. Or Spike Cave. Spike Cave actually is something that Nicky hasn't done.
Landmo had a quarter heart piece.
Darn, Landmo is breaking my heart and giving it to Link. Not the Turtle Rock big key, which is what we're looking for at the moment. So, here's the unfortunate thing for fylion. Because fylion does not have the Desert Palace big key from the Pyramid Fairy, if he does in fact find the Turtle Rock big key in here, he's going to full clear it, looking for that Desert Palace big key.
Still missing a key though. Because I believe Nicky got, or no, Fylion's still missing a Turtle Rock big key, or a small key, right?
He is, yes. Now that he's opened the door, he has no choice but to get it. We're also looking for Ice Rod, actually. Now, I just looked at the sheet, and we're still missing that, too.
That could be your laser bridge item that you wanted.
Oh, that could be. You're right. That would be really trolly. I like it. So we have Nikki, who's going to be going into the chest area in the Tower of Hera, the bottom room. Light these torches. Boom, chest appears. And it is a map of Hyrule Castle. Ew. Not even a good map.
Okay, so we successfully didn't flood a key.
Nope.
Nikki's going to check Spike Cave now.
Where are all the items? So there's still 6 items left in Swamp that fylion is going to be grabbing. Hopefully, one of them is Turtle Rock Big Key. That's what fylion needs it to be. Well, no. fylion needs it to be Turtle Rock Big Key and the Ice Rod. Oh! Shovel! Unlocking more spots. Oh no.
Looks like Nikki.
Sorry.
Oh, I think we were about to say the same thing. It looks like Nikki's going to make that play on Swamp.
Yep. So we're going to see Nikki go into the first chest. Or not go into it, but pick it up.
It's just going to find the key and hide in that chest for the rest of the race. I don't even want to do this. That sucked.
Ganon will never find me in here.
Zelda, you're on your own. That's what Dark World Zelda would do.
Alright, so fylion, there's 4 chests on the way here that he's going to be picking up. Hopefully something of value. What we're not wanting to see is Quake Medallion, because if we find the Quake Medallion before we find either Ice Rod or the Ganon, or the, sorry, Turtle Rock Big Key, we could be in trouble.
Nikki keeping it together, not even a frustration slash.
Ah! Skullwoods! I got trolled by the big key. I thought that was Turtle Rock. Well, there's another location that fylion can check. Small key to Ganon's tower.
So many, like, single, hey, you could check this one, or you could check this one, or this one.
Yeah, it's all gonna come down to, like, who just finds it first. So we're about to see the Argus fight here.
We're still waiting for a pedestal check.
Yep.
Turtle Rock Big Key could be there. That's what I'm gonna guess is on there.
It could be. Or Ice Rod. Man, that would be even worse. But with the Skullwoods, okay, so with the Skullwoods Big Key, do they go check Skullwoods and check the pedestal at the same time? While they're already over there?
I think at this point you do.
Oh my goodness, another fetch quest.
Just gonna be flying around Hyrule.
So we got the green pendant we can hand in, the shovel spot, and the mushroom all at the same time. So pick a fetch quest, any fetch quest. Okay, so Phylion's going to go check the shovel. With it being so close. I hope that afterwards he checks the Pyramid Fairy. Like, that's my really big hope. Because the more stuff he unlocks, the less likely he is to go there. So I'm kind of hoping that it just kind of stops him, forces him to go to Pyramid Fairy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, there's the, well, that's gonna prevent him from going to Pyramid Fairy. He can hand in the mushroom. Oh, or fake powder. Fake powder with the mushroom there. That was interesting. Or maybe he was already in the animation. Oh, there's the ice rod. Well, I guess that was the Turtle Rock care package, but still no small key.
Yeah,
So-
now he has the choice of a big risk.
Where?
Green
Oh,
pendant.
dropping off Sahashala stuff.
Hey man, here's your necklace. Give me my item.
If it's a Turtle Rock small key, that would literally be the most interesting Turtle Rock care package ever from Swamp Palace. Oh no, it's Bamos. Okay, well that's good. At least it's not Quake. Fylion, go to Pyramid Fairy. Where are you going? That's not Pyramid Fairy. He needs a small key, so he's going to go check. Oh, if the small key is on the pedestal. That's going to be trouble for Fylion.
So chat's asking if we're in no mode, and we're missing a Turtle Rock small key to be in, official logic no mode. But at this point, Nikki could finish Turtle Rock if they, once they get that key and go back in.
Yeah.
Yes, Rob.
We're in no mode for Nikki. We are not in no mode for Fylion, because Fylion did use a small key. Yeah, Fylion did use a small key in Turtle Rock. Oh, there it is.
The Swamp Care Package for Turtle Rock.
Now we officially are in no mode for Fylion. So, Fylion is gonna go to Turtle Rock at this point. He has to, because he would think that there is still a significant amount of chests there. The likelihood of the item being up there versus being at the Pyramid Fairy is extremely high. So, so he's right now, the only thing Fylion is looking for is the Desert Palace Big Key, which we know is at the Pyramid Fairy. So Nikki picks up the items, depending upon where Nikki goes, we could see this race be extremely close.
Yeah, absolutely. It all comes down to these next couple decisions for Nikki, and what Fylion does next. Hopefully, again, Nikki doesn't go back into Ice Palace.
I just don't see anybody making that Ice Palace play. It's so crazy. It's for like such a long, yeah. I think that because the fetch quests are so like, you just got the mushroom, you're gonna be like, okay, I have to go hand this in.
Yeah, and they're all faster. All of them are faster. So.
So I think that we're about to see. Now here's the thing: if Nikki finds the big key at the shovel location, does Nikki go immediately to Turtle Rock? That'll also be another decision. Like, I know that obviously we know that that's not the right decision, but checking one spot over checking a bunch, sometimes players make those gambles, especially if they feel like they're behind. So it looks like Nikki is opting to go check the shovel location. Getting the nice palette swap here for the guards.
Finally, I remember about to go in and finish Turtle Rock. They're like, oh, no, I can check the big key. Nikki, so close to go mode. Just one flight away.
So now's the train of thought. You see it. Do you... Alright. Where are we going? We're going to go hand in the green pendant. That is good. So instead of going to the mushroom location, checking the green pendant. And gets bombos. So now we just gotta go to the witch. Which is exactly where Nikki is going right now. And powders the witch just for some good luck.
So it looks like it's all going to come down to fylion checking, you know, how quickly after this fylion checks the pyramid fairy.
Yeah, he really needs to right away. He also needs to get to the door so he doesn't have to do that. Oh, good. He's got a fairy. Woo! So with that ice rod pickup for Nikki, Nikki is officially in go mode.
Very exciting. Hour and 51 minutes in.
This was a bit of a trolley seed, but that's randomizer.
And as the logic gets better, it's only going to become more and more, I guess, trolly, unfriendly.
Yeah. So we have fylion, who's going to be heading into the Trinex fight. After this, he absolutely must go to the Pyramid Fairy. And I'm thinking, at this point, what else is his options? The only problem is that trek that's going to, like, he has to complete Desert Palace, plus trek his way all the way back up the mountain. He's got a long way to go. He's got to go to Pyramid Fairy like right away.
Absolutely. You know, people are asking in chat how we can decide if someone is ahead. I think at this point it's safe to say Nikki is definitely at least a bit ahead. Like Nikki's in the lead. They're in go mode. They're right near Ganon's tower. fylion has some catching up to do.
Finds a small key. Castle tower. Well, that's useless. So at this point, we need fylion to go to the pyramid. But he is going...
He's going to have a nice little bathroom break in the tile room.
Oh yes. Oh boy. I'm wondering if he thinks he's checked it already. If he's checked Pyramid Fairy. This is unfortunate because this room is incredibly long. The wait time for it. And because Nikki needs absolutely nothing, going to blast through this dungeon incredibly quickly. Not gonna check any chests along the way. Has the butter sword, has the silver arrows. Nothing needed here. So...
Yeah, and no chests in Ganon Tower either.
Nope. Having more than enough small keys to get up to the top. As well as, you know, having the bug net for swagging him. Hee yeah, gonna not need anything else at this point. So Nikki is going to be heading into the Trinex fight right away. And then is going to be set... All right, so at this point, I'm hoping fylion goes to Pyramid Fairy.
There's always the chance that, you know, because the runners track for themselves while they're racing and look back at it and have a chance. It looks like he's going to the right place, but I wonder if originally it was mismarked. I'll have to ask him about it after.
All right, so Nicky with the Trinix fight just needs 3 hits with the Butter Sword, 2 hits on the head, 1 on the stomach, and gets it. GG to that fight. Trinix down. Trinix is one of the only bosses where he'll drop the item in the middle of the room because he can actually run outside of the room with how he moves. So to prevent soft locks, they made the item spawn in the middle of the room instead. So at this point, everything comes down to execution. fylion is about to get his Desert Palace big key. Then he needs to go kill Lanmo. If he can do it in 1 cycle, then this could be still could be close.
Absolutely. And as far as I remember, neither of these runners have a fairy at this point. So 1 death in the tower could be very costly and put everyone right back at approximately the same place.
Frustration slashes begin. So fylion heading over to Misery Mire area so that he can, or Desert Palace area so he can hop into, well, he is going to go into Misery Mire area because he's going to mirror over to the boss in Desert Palace.
So it looks like we won't find access at all to Mire.
Nope. We're not going to be checking any chests along the way up to Ganon's tower unless Nicky decides that they're looking for the red mail. But I feel like at this point, fylion's going to definitely avoid picking up any possible chest. So Nicky about to head into the gauntlet here. There's a room that Nicky can bonk to if they want berries, but nope. Opting to just go straight up the tower here.
Yeah, you want to save those, you know, extra 30 seconds where you can. Just gotta trust in what you can do.
Exactly. We have Nicky opting for Pombo strats to get rid of these Stalfos.
I am fully on board with those strats. Those Stalfos are a pain.
They really are. And 1 cycle Lanmo it is. fylion with the quick kill on Lanmo now is going to be heading up towards Ganon Tower.
We've still got a race with all the dangers of the gauntlet.
Yeah, Gauntlet is a scary place. So Nicky powdering the anti-fairy gonna be changing up the cycle a little bit for Lanmo. Now, yeah, we noticed in Lanmo 1 that Nicky was opting to just use the Butter Sword instead of the either Silver Arrows or the Fire Rod. So this is giving fylion a little bit of a chance to catch up here.
fylion opting to use the Turtle Rock portal, which could go very poorly if the Dead Rocks do not cooperate. Ooh, Nicky missing that 1 cycle.
Yeah. And at this point, seconds really do matter. Nicky does have the lead, but you want to make sure that you keep the lead. And you know, sometimes any second matters in in these races. So we have Nicky lighting the torches here, almost at the top of Ganon's tower. Has one more boss to go through. That is Moldarm 2.
Stopping for that last-minute refill on Hearts and Magic.
Yep, pulling out the hook shot here. So 2 spins with the butter sword, or 2 slashes. Very nicely done. And not needing anything, going straight to Aghanim 2.
Aghanim 2, Electric Boogaloo.
So Nicky is setting up the Aghanim 2 fight here. 2 hits already. So you need 6 hits to get Aga down. Unfortunately, missing on the second section here. Gets a 1 hit in the third. Yeah, slashes make this a little bit more challenging than spins. Yeah, unfortunately having a bit of a struggle here with the Aga 2 fight. Oh, there we go. Get some hits in.
At the same time,
I think we just need one more. Now we might need one more.
fylion is struggling a bit with the gauntlet. 2 hours in a Keysanity seed, you could be, really far ahead. The variance is huge, but either way, you kind of got to be a little nervous when you're going up, and it was something that you missed, like the Pyramid Fairy.
Yep. Definitely. And I feel like fylion is definitely going to powder that anti-fairy as well. The last thing you want is to take a death in the gauntlet.
Nicky falling in to Ganon at 202.40.
So just 6 hits needed with the butter sword. fylion taking care of the Landmo 2s. And Nicky getting some extra shots off just for good measure, because Ganon is a big jerk. Gets the first hit in for the next phase. Needs 1 hit for every time that the tiles are falling. So last time that those tiles are going to fall, we're going to hit him with silver arrows and then try to get the torch glitch. Unfortunately misses it, but with silver arrows, not really a big deal. Just needs to get 3 more hits off with the silver arrows. If you position Ganon correctly, you might actually be able to hit him twice. Oh! Nicky's got to be a little careful. Don't want to get hit by those fire bats. But gets Ganon GG. Fantastic job for Nicky.
Excellent job by Nicky.
So we're just gonna wait here for Nicky to hop into the Ganon's or the Triforce room, and GG. Nickynoel finishes with a first place time of 2 hours, 4 minutes, and 20 seconds. GG. And wow, we already have you in here. This is quick. Hey, Nicky,
yeah.
Congratulations.
This was a feat.
Yeah, it was a very interesting one. Well done.
And it didn't help that I was like, no, know what was going on. I was kind of so shaking and everything that I threw like 5 minutes away in the first 15 minutes and decided that I have to do place over place. Yeah, but somehow most of them worked out.
Yeah, you had a few of those, call them serendipitous plays, where you do something and immediately after it's like, oh, it's good that I did this in this order because now I can do the thing that's right beside it.
Yeah, basically the only thing I didn't like was like, I'm using an old open mode tracker and I was like, I should go into pods. Wait, ice is clearable. Why do I not go into ice? And I'm like, I don't have a float shot. I don't have a small key. Yeah, I can clear ice, but I can basically not get anything out of it.
Yeah,
But
there's
yeah,
a lot of...
besides that...
Sorry. Yeah, your routing was actually really interesting. At the very beginning, everything was just lucking out for you. You would get exactly what you needed at exactly the right moment. So it was really good routing.
Yeah, well, at the beginning, I like died in Mini Muldown Cave because I desperately wanted to save a bomb for Gina's cave. Like I died the second time somewhere else. Oh yeah, East Palace Dark Room.
Yes.
And I decided like, okay, I have to do plays. And immediately went into Gina's cave with Moon Pearl and Hobo with gloves and was like, immediate Dark World access.
Yep, it was
Alright.
really early. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm behind in items, but I'm not sure I'm behind in early Dark World access.
Yeah,
well, you were the first in Dark World, absolutely.
Simply because, yeah, most people go into Ice Rock Cave early anyway. I decided against it simply because of the flippers. I was like, going to Ice Rock Cave is not that huge of a problem. And also I don't like those low health to go to the crabs.
Yeah, that part is very scary. Those things do way too much damage.
But yeah, the siege just didn't have any early love.
Yeah, there was no hearts at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, in retrospect, I was thinking maybe I should have gone to desert early just because there was a big heart on the ledge. But yeah.
So fylion is, your opponent is actually really close to finishing up this Ganon fight here. I think one more hit. Yeah, there we go. fylion kills Ganon. So GG to fylion. Let's make sure he walks into this Triforce room here. And GG again to fylion. fylion finishing with the second place time of 2 hours, 7 minutes, and 47 seconds. So GG, and looks like fylion is also going to be joining us in here in a moment for an interview. So yeah, I know it was a fantastically close race. It was actually really, really crazy at some points. You know, like finding the Swamp Palace small key in the Swamp Palace.
Yeah, I mean, that was like, you think you have a green pendant, you're not missing much. So the Swamp Palace small key can be everywhere. I was like, okay, that's probably in GT, like who cares?
Yeah.
And then you go into Swamp, find it, and all you find in Swamp are 4 fetch quest items.
Yep.
Like, you find shovel, you find mushroom, you find the Skullwood Spiky, and you get the green pendant, and are like, yay. And I'm like, yeah, so the Skullwood Spiky I don't want to use, because then I will go into Thieves Town, and that's the very last thing I want to do. And yeah, fortunately, the other 3 fetch quest items had the 2 items I needed.
And we have fylion joining us here. fylion, how are you feeling?
Like I shouldn't be forgetting about Pyramid Fairy.
Actually, yeah, that was well, interestingly enough, we assumed that maybe you weren't going to Pyramid Fairy because technically you didn't have enough big or small keys yet for you know, for pod, so maybe you thought it was outside of the logic. But then immediately going into the castle and finding that the small key necessary for pod, I was like, oh, uh-oh.
Yeah, I just that location completely skipped my mind until after I had done Swamp and everything, and then I said, hang on, The only spot left is Ice Palace Big Chest, or I haven't done Pyramid Fairy. Let me do that first. And I think, amongst other things, that was the main mistake I made, was just forgetting about that today.
It was a really, really close race for so long. It all just came down to that Desert Palace big key. You guys were both in Swamp fairly similar times. So it was quite interesting finding all those fetch quest items in Swamp. The shovel, the mushroom, the green pendant, the Skullwoods big key, and for you, Skullwoods, you did need to go to Skullwoods to get that small key for Turtle Rock, whereas Nikki had actually skipped the big key chest in Turtle Rock, so did not use that extra key.
Yeah, that key was something I was thinking long and hard about as I was on my way up to Turtle Rock and heading in, and I just kind of looked at what was left to get, and I said, I have a good feeling about that chest for once. And of course, it was a terrible, terrible thing to see. I think it was a pod key when I had already hammer yumped and cleared out pod, but
Yep.
I'm okay with that choice. I just wish it hadn't gone that way.
Yeah, for me it was, I was also thinking about it, for me it was kind of the other way, since I felt like having thrown away so much time at the early game and had to make plays, it was like, of all those things I skipped, it is not unlikely for one of that to be the T-Rock big small key, so if in any way possible, I would like to keep that one.
Yeah, it was a tough decision. How much was that Ice Palace big key playing on your minds? Because you got Nikki, you had gone in twice. Fylion, you'd gone in the one time and cleared it all.
And then I found the big key at the spot in Castle Tower where I died before in the dark room. Yeah, it was basically even worse than Thieves Town, like the location where you really don't want to go back even so. I mean, I've seen a lot of races recently where exactly that big key was the decider.
Yeah,
But yeah, as I said, I felt so often so behind that it was like, this option just is not allowed to be the option because then I've lost anyway.
I had a similar thought. I looked at the logic that the game wanted you to go through to open that chest, because it was dip into Ice Palace, get the Thieves' big key, go to Thieves, get the lamp, come up with an Aegispal key somewhere else, and then go up the tower just to get the ice key to go back into Ice Palace. And I said, you know what? That chest is so at the back of the logic, I bet Nikki's not going to check it early. So I'm okay leaving it till the end, because I think Nikki's going to leave it till the end.
Yeah, I said that earlier. I actually was kind of tricked by my tracker and was like, I could go, in theory I should go into pod, but my tracker tells me Ice Palace is clearable, and then I realized, yeah, I can run through, but I can kind of not get any chests because I didn't have any key and no hook shot.
Yeah,
Which is why I double dipped then, and because I died in Castle Tower in the dark because it was dark and we didn't have much health at the beginning. Well,
Oh, did we ever not have health? Like, I was going around for a long time trying to get above 5 hearts.
Goodness gracious, Fylion, your Mothula fight nearly gave me a heart attack.
Yeah, it gave me one too.
Yeah,
gosh.
both of you going into Skullwoods to get that Mothula kill super early with just blue mail, fighter sword. I think
The worst
Nikki
part
had master sword by
Yeah,
then.
it wasn't even that early. Like, I'm pretty sure Fylion also, like, put it back, but there was just not much left. And I, for example, I got one potion, and then because that room told me I had to use a blue potion before Mothula because I was out of out of magic. And I went like, I think I had 6 hearts, Master Sword and Fire Rod against Mothula, but yeah,
6 hearts though is still pretty low.
it's pretty low.
Yes. It was insane. It was a really, really, really good race between you guys. You guys both played absolutely excellent. Yeah, Nikki, the dark rooms really early on was more of the I guess the choking point for you. I feel like after those points kind of probably felt like you were a little bit behind. So
Yeah, I mean, Eastern was not even the dark room. It was like, hey, I have 3.5 hearts and blue mail. What can possibly go wrong? Oh yeah. Those fairy thingies deal 1 damage regardless of how much you of what mail you have, and I just tried to force my way through.
Luckily, it was nothing necessary there, though.
Yeah.
So, do you guys have any other thoughts regarding the seed?
I mean, the only thing I'll say is that there was a time, and you may have noticed me staring at my menu for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I almost went into Swamp Palace by accident early on, because somehow I thought I had the small key instead of the big key, and then I caught myself with a or a menu check, and I said, "Hang on, now that's the big key I have. I better not go in there," and I'm kicking myself for that now.
The unfortunate non-mistake mistake.
So it goes, but
When the
yeah,
seed
no.
tells you you're not supposed to do the right play, but this crazy play is that suddenly pays off.
Yeah, it was definitely exciting to watch. It was definitely so close. Like the entire time, we were just like, somebody in chat had asked, "Oh, who's ahead? How do you tell who's ahead?" And we were just like, at this point, it's just you really can't tell. It's just impossible.
I assume that Nikki and I took entirely different routes. There was a long time where I couldn't tell if I was ahead or behind, or like even I couldn't guess.
As I said, I felt behind early on because I died a few times, and then I took all the crazy plays and was like, I don't even know, because a lot paid off, but then again, what else were you supposed to do that actually gave me the time back?
Well, you can see the collection rate here. We have Nikki at 158 out of 216, fylion with 169 out of 216. But I feel like the big thing was having to look for those extra keys, going up Death Mountain twice, once to get the Turtle Rock clear, and then going to Ganon's Tower. Nikki, you were able to just clear Turtle Rock and go straight to Ganon's Tower, because you had already done Desert. After Turtle Rock, the important thing was to go to Pyramid Fairy for you, fylion. But when you went to Tower of Hera, that was kind of the moment where everything kind of changed.
Yeah. Looking back, there's stuff I would have done differently, but Nikki
Please
played very well.
Like if you are up there and you have two items, probably basement and spike cave.
Yep.
Just do them.
Well, spike cave was already done earlier. But yeah, it was. You guys both did an excellent job. Fantastic run.
Super close. Great race. Very entertaining to watch. There was one moment of sync right in the middle where you both were in Desert Palace, grabbing the item off the torch. Beyond that, just totally different routing, and it's always nice to see it go totally out and then come back in and be so close. It's a great race, guys.
Yeah. The only other thing I have to say is whoever's got Nikki in round 4, watch out.
Well, GG to both the runners. Thank you guys so much again for the race. It was absolutely fantastic. Thank you guys, everyone in the chat here, for watching. Super appreciated. We have our fantastic tracker today, Zelga, who did a fantastic job keeping us on track here, quite literally, with the items. And thank you to Felix, my co-commentator today, so much for commentating with me.
Thanks, Saku. It was a lot of fun. Great race to watch.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we have more Link to the Past Randomizer Keysanity tournament races today. The remaining of them are going to be on the Link to the Past Randomizer family of channels. There is a lot more going on speed gaming today. And after today's races, of course, we're going to be getting the next rounds of the Swiss sorted out here. So there's still plenty of more Keysanity coming up in the following week as well. So on this channel, we have Plague of Shadows that's going to be coming up next at 5 p.m. We have lots of Ori going on Speed Gaming 2. We have Super Mario Brothers 3 randomizer that's going to be coming up on Speed Gaming 3 and is currently going on Speed Gaming 3. And then on Speed Gaming 4, more Super Mario Brothers and Super Metroid runs as well. So there's tons of stuff going on today on the Speed Gaming family channel. So make sure to give this fantastic channel a follow. And again, thank you guys so much for everything. Super appreciated. And I will see you guys at the next race.